All right. Check. Is this thing on? Welcome to The Groove, an amazing show about wins, failures, inspiration, and taking the road less traveled. You're going to see entrepreneurs, dreamers, doers, all kinds of people that are going to share their journey with you. I'm Sandra Wines. I'm a brand coach and educator, and welcome to The Groove.
Gangster sales technique is, it's not fun that she's doing, which is in 5 days to become a Pinterest marketing rock star.
The Groove premieres.
Trying to get myself not nervous.
I can't wait to see you there. And since we're live, you never know what's going to happen. See you guys there.
Mommy, can I be on the show?
Of course, baby.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear us? Somebody let me know that you can hear us because we are broadcasting and we are live here at The Groove. So, woo! I'm so excited. I am so super excited. So I am going to hide this and just say welcome, everyone. If you're here, say hello. The links got a little wonky this morning. It's day one. This is what happens. I am so excited today to have my hermana cubana, Maceo, with me today, and to make this day even more fantastic and wonderful is that, I'm able to share this day with someone who's doing something so awesome. So you guys are going to hear all about Maceo today, but Maceo, hello.
Hola, thanks for having me. It's so exciting.
So I told Maceo that this is basically us having coffee, hanging out, enjoying this wonderful time on the show. So, hey, Monique. Hey, Danielle. Hey, Jessica. Hey, Lisa. Hey, everyone. Hey, Sylvie, Sugail. What's up? All right. So one of the amazing things about Maceo is that she is a nerd like me. So I am a book lover, and that's kind of what drew me to her. Maceo, if you're not following her, at Booklandia Box, okay? And I will make sure it should be in all the comments and everything that are on here and on the intro. So Maceo, tell me, what is Booklandia? Where is Booklandia? Is that an actual land? Like, what's going on over there?
Well, when you're a kid, right, and you're reading a book and it takes you somewhere?
Yes.
That's Booklandia.
I love
all those stories are in Booklandia.
Yeah.
So Booklandia is my business. I started it as a subscription box service for families who are looking for Spanish and bilingual children's and young adult books. Yeah. And I wanted to be of service to families because I know how difficult it is to find these books and for them to be authentic and well written and beautifully illustrated. So I felt that because I was doing it for my own kids and I loved books so much that I wanted to share that with other families.
Yes, that is awesome. Okay, everyone who is tuned in, I want you guys to do me one favor. Click the share button. Just share, because the more people that we can infect with this exciting energy that we have this morning, and let me tell you, I'm celebrating the fact that I got up, got my kid to school, got my makeup and hair done, put on clean clothes, and was able to get on here. And I'm going to tell you, it's a feat all in itself. So right now, I'm just excited to be able to share these stories with you guys. So if you're just tuning in and you're like, what the heck is The Groove? The Groove is a journey. It is a journey that we are all on. And I think for a long time, I lived outside of the groove, which was trying to figure out, like, what do people want and what do people need and what makes everybody happy? And then one day I said, you know what, when I fall into the place that I'm supposed to be, and when I get into that groove, into that deep groove, and I am doing what I love and I'm happy and I'm passionate, that is where the magic happens. That is where you strike lightning. And so that is the groove. And I want to share stories of people who are going against the grain and going deep into their own groove and figuring out their true path and story. And it's not easy. So how the heck did you end up in Booklandia? So you're in Oakland, right?
Yeah.
I'm so excited about, because I get to see you soon.
I know, right?
Tell me, how did you end up in Booklandia? Where is, what happened?
So, well, my parents are Cuban and they immigrated to the U.S. in the 1970. And I was born and raised in Brooklyn. And, I was very adventurous. Even as a kid, and at 5, I told my parents I was going to get tattoos and I was going to move to California. So I did those 2 things. Wow. It just took a while. So, but in my childhood, one of the things that I loved to do was to read. I didn't have books in the house. I actually did. I had the World Book Encyclopedia set, but that's it. And so we would go to the library every week and I would check out a stack of books and I would spend all my free time reading. And as you know, literature was always something that I focused on. And in college, I studied, it was humanities with a focus on Latin American studies and Spanish. And since then, I worked with literacy in after-school programs. And then I went into working at a women's bookstore in New York. And finally, when I moved out here, I came out to California, to Oakland, to do a master's in creative writing. Awesome. So I was writing for many years. And when I got married and I had children, as you know, it's very difficult to find your groove, right?
I'm like, I'm doggy paddling in my groove, like trying to just, how can I stay here? Yes.
So with the kids, I decided to sell books. I found out about Barefoot Books, and they're an independent book publisher, and they have Barefoot Books ambassadors. I was looking for children's books in Spanish, and I found Barefoot Books through this website, Mami Maestra, which she's awesome. She's a homeschooling Latina mom, and I'm also a homeschooling Latina mom. And I wanted to do something else besides, being a homeschooling mom. So I wanted to do it via books. Mm-hmm. I couldn't write anymore, but I still loved books. And I did my work with Barefoot Books for 3 years. And I found that at every event that I was going to, when parents would see the Spanish and bilingual books, they would get so excited.
Yes.
And they wanted more and they wanted more. And so I felt that I needed to give more. There had to be another way to do it. So I looked at the subscription box model and I found that at that time there wasn't any other one in Spanish, and I decided to go from there. And so since then, I started in 2016. Since then, I do a lot of local events and pop-ups. And on Saturday, we're doing a grand opening at a kids consignment shop called Kelly's Corner here in Oakland. And I have a space. Booklandia now has a space for the community here.
Oh, yes. Yes. Very good. So what's so exciting about this is literally like, you're just like, well, I was on this road and then I went to the next thing. And then that took me somewhere here. And then, and this is the thing that I love about my life and the journey of others. Our journey is that sometimes we're going down this path and we're like, I don't really know where this path is taking me. And then you're like, look, this road, try this road. And then look where it's taking you. So that is amazing. So first of all, I love, I ordered a book box and because I was running late and I was trying to actually get on the show, I didn't bring my books downstairs, but I will share a video of Annalise in a moment opening her book box. I thought that it was so awesome. So I am a book lover. I grew up stealing my sister's books. My sister is a book nerd and she's 9 years older than me. So you know, I had this role model who was always reading, and that was great. My brother is a doctor, was always a nerd and introduced me to books. I remember one of the most favorite books I had was of London. And I felt like London was another world, you know, like, and it's so crazy how a little girl from the Bronx sat on her couch looking at these pictures of Big Ben thinking like, I don't even know where that is. Like, will I ever go there? Like, that seems so out of reach, you know? And you know, since then, I've been able to travel and do so many things. It's like, I can't believe that I was able to see the things that were inside the books, able to read. what I love about Booklandia is that you are giving kids that opportunity to open their eyes to something like this. But what's even more important is the books that you sent Annalise were, one, amazing. They were in Spanish, and the kids in the book were very representative of my child, you know, and it's hard to find books with brown and black babies, you know, like I want to see my daughter, I want to see her little curly hair, I want to see her little face, I want to see her color, I want to see all those things represented in books. So what you're doing is so necessary, especially now. And kudos to you for giving these authors another platform to share their books. So when I opened those books, as excited as Annalise was, I was sitting in the background like, like this is so cool. So you're from Cuba. So before I show the video, how you were born in the United States?
Yeah, I'm the only sibling. My siblings, I'm the only kid that was born in the United States from my parents. My siblings were born there. Yeah.
Okay, so 2 of us were born here. 3 from my mom and dad were born in Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
So I am. But you've gone back and you
many times. Yes.
Okay, so you have had that amazing experience to be able to go back. So one of the things that now you're raising kids, how do you infuse them with this culture, with this, you know, lifestyle that's different? Because now you're in Oakland. I don't know. It's got to be different. You know what I mean? Now you're in Oakland. It is. I felt like when I was in New York, I could go to like little Dominican Republic. You know, I could go to like Washington Heights and get the flavor, right? But what do you do to infuse this in your kids? And I think this is so important because there's so many, there's so many of us that are living here in the United States that are from other places and trying to bring this culture into our lives without it being force-fed. You know, we want it to be organic, and I don't have my grandma and my aunties and, you know, my titis are not here, so I can't make my child that way. So tell me how you do that with your kids. How do you do that?
With my kids, it is very difficult in the sense that my family lives in Florida and we see each other maybe once a year. So they don't get that, you know, time with abuela and abuelo. And, you know, growing up in New York, my parents were part of, every weekend we spent it with other Cuban families. So it was always part of who I was. And so with my kids, it's different because now I'm just like, well, I'm American. It's different than with my parents, right? Because my mom, when she was little, we would watch Fantasy Island together Saturday nights. And then she would tell me stories of when she was a little kid, you know, so I always saw Cuba, right? And so I had experiences going to Cuba when I was 3 and 5. So I do share those things with my kids, but it's such a different reality for them. So we do, you know, Cuban food. We do that, and we read books, you know, with Cuban protagonists. And, you know, I just got a book of Jose Martí poems. And so that was something when I was a kid, I learned how to recite Jose Martí poems. I'm like, okay, now it's time to teach them how to recite Jose Martí poems. And, but my son really feels Cuban, even though my son he's 7. You know, he's really into baseball. So he knows, Cubans are good at baseball. You know? So he's really into that. And one thing that I've introduced my kids to is the show One Day at a Time.
Oh my gosh.
With Justine Machado and Rita Moreno. Yeah. And it's about a Cuban family. And so we watch it together.
I thought you were talking about the other. Okay. Yes.
No, the new one on Netflix.
Cool. Yes.
So, you know, it's about a Cuban family. No one on the show is Cuban, which I find pretty funny, but that's fine. It's about a Cuban family. And so my kids really, I could see them relating to the characters, to the story. Just like when I was little, I don't know if you watched it, but I used to watch ¿Qué pasa USA?
Yes. Oh my God.
¿Qué pasa USA? ¿Qué pasa? ¿Qué pasa? And so that really connected me.
Adventure right now with you. I'm like, oh yeah. Back in the day.
So, yeah, we don't have a huge Cuban community here, but we try to make the best of it. We call abuela and abuelo a lot, so they get to talk to them. And, you know, when we go on to Florida, we try to spend as much time with them as possible just to be there.
Infuse them with that.
Yes.
I mean, it's like I can't create that for my daughter, even if I try, because just you know, we went to Dominican Republic, and let me see if I can find this picture. We went to Dominican Republic, and we ate at we went to my aunt's house, and it was like a quick trip. But we walked in the door, and she had, you'll appreciate this, she had all those little tacitas.
Yeah, the cafe.
Yeah, for your coffee, and all these little like, you know, little china, little teacups, like all her little fine china, right? And like your teacup on your little saucer, and she served everyone coffee on a tray, you know, and I'm thinking to myself, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. But I like it, right? Like it's something about that makes me feel really good. Like when I walk to my aunt's house and she's like, mira, she's got a bandeja, and you know, on her tray, she's got you know, cheese and crackers and chichong and all that stuff. And you come in, it's like I've never gone to an aunt's house and been hungry. I don't know, you ever been? Yeah. You're not gonna be hungry, no. And you're not gonna be hungry. So I feel like with Annalise, my daughter's 3, I'm trying to infuse her with this too. I'm trying to, you know, I want her to be aware that she is, you know, she's brown, she's beautiful, she's complicated. I want her to be complicated. I don't want her to feel like she's got to fit in and she's got to be, no, you're different, and that's okay. You know, you know, we do play like Latin music, and I love to dance. So I'm big on, I love mambo. So look, I'm gonna,
wow, look at that.
I have a lot of ones, say Barreto, but
I love that album. Oh my goodness.
Appreciate on
here. Oh my gosh. I do. Oh my gosh.
Here, one of your peoples.
Okay, you're like my new best friend, Sandra.
Rodriguez. So, you know, I mean, the cool thing is so my husband and I dance salsa, we dance, and I love old school mambos. A lot of the old school stuff I love is going to take me back to Cuba, because it's, you know, Celia Cruz, it's, you know, her influences, you know, La Lupe, these, like all these people that are just like, they're all telling stories. They're all telling stories, right? So music is like such a great way of sharing our story. And the reason that you're on here today is because I found your story so wonderful and fascinating. And then when we connected, I felt like, oh my God, this is my sister from another mister. Where have you been? But tell me, like with your children, because I find that sometimes I don't, like Annalise sees us dancing and she's like, you're being silly, you know, like in her mind, like, you know, we're just doesn't get it yet. But when we went to Dominican Republic, and it was like that's all she heard, right? You know, we were music. Like, I could see, like, you know, her little drum inside, her little tambora was like she was like, okay, she was like, this is inside of me. And so I think sometimes like we try to create it, and sometimes we just have to let like them bring it out of themselves. You know what I mean? And so we use a lot of music around here to infuse that vibe, and books, of course, and the books that you have sent her. I'm trying to load the video. So guys, because this is day 1, you know, we're just going to wing it, but I'm going to show you guys the video of Annalise opening these books. It was so cool because she just really has, she's taken to reading books that are not in English. Like for me to read them to her, she doesn't quite understand all the words, but interestingly enough, and the songs, she doesn't understand all the words, but interestingly enough, it's been, can you guys see us? Or are you seeing, it says stop sharing my screen. So I'm trying to make sure. Are you seeing my screen share? Or are you seeing me, Maceo, or guys that are out there? You. Okay. If you guys are out there on the interwebs and you guys are watching, let me know what you see. Because again, playing with the new tech, and I want to make sure that you guys can see. Let's see what, because because I was sharing my screen for a minute. All right, so I'm going to show you guys a quick video. This is like super fast, but I want you guys to see some of the books. And that, I mean, it's not even the books, honestly. It's just the excitement that Annalise had when she was opening these books. And of course, you know, in my organized life, I would have had this video pulled up, but I literally was running around like a crazy person. So I want to show you guys the video because, guys, she was so excited to open this little box of books, and she just lit me up so much with her, you know, just excitement about the books. And ooh, a present, you know, she was like, and then when she was opening them, she was looking at each one. Okay, not great. Not a great way of doing this. All right, we'll come back to that. I'll show you guys the video, or maybe I'll post it below so I don't keep you guys going. All right, so tell me what you see. Oh, you see both of us. Yes. Yeah. Okay, good. So, yeah, so the exciting thing about being in this space right now of having the internet, right? So you have access to a lot of things we didn't have access to before.
Oh, yeah.
How do you think that is helping or not helping with that integration of culture? Do you feel like because we can access the information, like we're more likely to bring it into our home? Or do you feel like it's easy to just go with the flow of, you know, Americanized, whatever we see right in front of us? Or do you think people are more likely to look for information, that people want to be more educated, that people want to have more access to resources that are representative and kind of speak to our culture? Like, what do you think?
It depends on the person, I think. If a person's a seeker of knowledge, they will use any resource possible to want to find it. So the internet can be helpful for that. But I feel like the way that we are like on social media, we're only exposed to the things that we like. So I think it continues. It just continues with the rest of our lives. We only focus on what we like unless we make an effort to do that. Yeah. So that's one of the reasons why I'm homeschooling my kids, is that I'm trying to have them, I'm trying to lead their education on their interests and also at the same time expose them to other cultures, other ideas, you know, how to speak to someone respectfully, even if you don't agree, you know, like all those things. So I think culturally, we're not many people are allowed to be seekers, you know, and so it can be really really useful, but sometimes it's just like entertainment.
Yes.
So
yes. All right, I'm going to show you guys. I did find the video, so I'm going to share my screen. Hopefully this will work, because again, figuring it out as we go. Nope, that's not what I want to do. Let's see. Stop sharing. Share my screen. This is what's great when you do something live. You just got to go with it. It's great. Okay, so I'm sharing. I don't know. You guys let me know if you can see. Let's see. No, it's not sharing that because it's not telling me. Okay, so no. Stop sharing. Let's see. Share your desktop. Okay. Yes. I'm getting better, guys. All right. Can we see the screen now?
I don't see it.
You guys are going to be my guinea pigs here.
No.
I'm going to add this to the broadcast. And
okay, it's coming. I think it's going to come up.
I'm going to hide
your screen came out smaller. Smaller? Let's see. Okay, there it goes.
Yay. Okay.
It's there.
Try. All right. So here we go. So this is Annalise opening up her box.
Oh, wow. Let me see.
Let's open it.
Okay.
Oh, no.
So cute.
She was so excited, and she doesn't want me to help her. You can tell.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's a book? Yeah. What kind of book is it?
Yes.
Let's read it.
Yeah.
Let's read it.
Let's see. De activista.
So this box came, and I mean, I really didn't know what to expect, except that there would be books.
What's the paper?
And I was so surprised they were all wrapped like this. So thank you. That was amazing.
Welcome. Yeah, the kids really enjoy the unwrapping.
Yeah. So
you know, and the surprise effect.
Yeah,
of it.
so into it. So actually, this book, which we have Lola Goes to the Library, and this was Lola. Which one was this one? Lola le gustan los libros, I think.
No, Lola va para biblioteca. Or,
Oh,
no.
Lola va para biblioteca. Yeah. No, I think this is.
No. No. Lola le encantan los cuentos.
Los cuentos. Yeah. So it was exciting because she has it in English, a different, book from this series, and to her to have it in Spanish, like she gravitated to it immediately. And the books were just beautiful, beautifully wrapped, and we were so excited. And we've been reading these like every single day. And I forgot to show you the clip of her talking about Malcolm X, which was she was so excited to learn about Malcolm X. She was like, who is Malcolm X? And then because she says, we tell her X is not good.
Oh.
So I had to kind of like, give her some background on why Malcolm is good, right? So it was pretty interesting. So I just want to say thank you. Those books have blessed our home. Like we are really conscious and aware of trying to bring amazing books into just into our home and share them with other people. So I'm always sharing stuff. And I really feel like, if you guys have an audience, if you're an influencer, if you have people out there, if you have anyone that you can impart wisdom upon, and it's not to stand on a soapbox, but if you find something useful, share with other people. You'd be really surprised at how many people they're not aware that Maceo exists, And so when I shared it just on my newsfeed, people were like, what? This is amazing, And it's just such a need. It's just such a need. My mom taught me how to read in Spanish. She bought me these book series. They're called Cuéntame una historia. These books I found them on eBay recently, and I said I'm going to order them. And it's sad because they're only like $2 or something like that now. But it's a book. It's a collection of stories, and they're all in Spanish. And so my mom, in her, my mom had a third grade education. I don't think she understood what she was doing at the time. She didn't really read very well. But what she would say is, okay, it's time for bed. You read me a story. And the stories were all in Spanish. And that is how I learned to read in Spanish, because I could speak it because I grew up in a Spanish home and, Spanish speaking home. And my family was all, everywhere we went, it was, you speak Spanish at home, English at school. And so that's how I was raised. But reading and writing came like secondary, and I learned to read in Spanish because I read, and very slowly. I read these books very slowly. And these stories were like stories. It was kind of like fables, but a little more modernized, I guess. It would be like a kid goes to a store and steals some blueberries, and then he has to go back and take the blueberries back and tell, his grandmother takes him back, you don't steal from the store and blah, blah, blah. It was like, all of them had lessons, right? But it was amazing to me that my mom with, such a, she always said, I'm not book smart, I'm street smart. And I feel like, thank you, Mama. She's up there. Y'all don't see her. Got the queen bee over here. She's behind me because she is the reason. Hey, Mama. So, but she didn't have the wisdom to say, okay, I'm going to give you these books so that you can learn how to speak in Spanish, or read in Spanish. She just did it. And now I moved and I don't know what I did. Sorry, guys. So yeah, she just did it. And it taught me so much. And like, it's just such a gift. So when you're giving me these books and Annalise is dissecting them, and, she's not, she knows, she's telling me the story, but not really understanding. It's just because of memory, her memory is good. So she's telling me these stories, and I'm thinking to myself, oh my gosh, one day all these words are going to come together, and she is going to powerhouse of like, having all this knowledge in her head,
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. So I know you told me Cuban food. Yes. So I'm obsessed with Cuban food. My best friend is Cuban and Colombian. That's kind of like right?
Mm-hmm.
Controversial, right? And going to her house was always fun because there was never a shortage of good food. And the most thing that I would have there is a cortadito.
Mm-hmm.
What the heck is a cortadito and how do I make one? Because I don't know. I'm sure I could Pinterest, Google or something. What's the magic behind this? Because it is literally like a thimble of coffee that's like the most delicious thing I've ever tasted.
Okay, so I didn't grow up having cortaditos.
Oh, God,
it's something that that when we went to Miami and we went. No, it's not. No. I just didn't grow up having cortaditos.
Okay.
I didn't. My mom makes it now because she lives in Miami. Ooh. So in my house, it was just café negro, and every time I remember when my dad would come from work, I would have to have the little espresso cup with coffee for him or café con leche. Like I've had café con leche since, from the bottle. I've had café con leche. Yeah. But cortadito is made with the foam. And I think it's with the foam, and then you put sugar and a little bit of the coffee, and then you pour it back into the cup. I think. I don't know. I've never made it. Sorry.
It's amazing. It's delicious. When we went to Dominican Republic, we laid over in Miami, and I literally like hit up every coffee pastry shop in the airport. Like we were there for 6 hours, so I needed something to do, and basically that's what I did. I just ate Cuban food. It was heaven. It was like heaven because
they have Versailles at the airport.
What did you say?
Don't they have Versailles at the airport?
Yeah. They have. So the airport is crazy. Like we were there for so long, huge. And I was like, there's so many great restaurants in there. Like I didn't even know. So okay, we have about 15. We got a little bit more, like 20 minutes. So I don't want to take it all the way to the end, like with just us talking. So if you guys have questions, I know that, and it could be business related about her journey. It can be Cuban related, American related, whatever, kids related. This show is really like, right now we're trying to like test the waters, like what do people want? But at the same time, I'm not here to give you what you want. I'm here to give you what you need. Okay. So, I feel like there's enough people out there that are giving you what you want. This is a little bit more unscripted because I want people to be real. And I just want to, there's one of the things about bringing different people on this show is showing you that everybody's way and everybody's why is different. Everybody's way and everybody's why is different. And so where like I put this show together, it was in my heart for a long time, but it didn't come together. It came together like in a flash, like really quickly. And I didn't want to like overthink it. Where other people need details, where other people need like steps. There's all different kinds of people. And so that's what I hope that through this, you will see like everybody's way and everybody's why is different and that you can do something a certain way and still find success. So one of the things that Maceo said was she was working with a book company and people were asking her about books in Spanish. And that made her branch out to do this book box because she realized there was a need. So sometimes you need to find out like what is the need that you can serve, because honestly, like a book box seems like somebody might say, well, people don't need a book box, people don't need it every month. It's not like food, right? But I'm excited to get these books. I need them. I need to fill my child up with this goodness, so you have to figure out like what your why and what your way is. And I feel like one of the things about doing this show and having wonderful people on here is showing you the different ways and whys, right? I can see the comments, even though I'm not like, I am looking. Pamela says, "Man, Ma, you're gorgeous." Thank you. Mwah, you are gorgeous. All right, I'm looking, just making sure I haven't missed any questions. So Danielle says, "Thank you both for being here for us, friends in my head. It's great to hear other people's stories and spend time with inspiring, like-minded folks, ladies such as yourself. Hugs and besitos." All right, so I'm looking at this thread, and I have a lot of moms on here, and that's really inspiring to me because I feel like the way and the why when you're a mom just changes so much. How did that change for you? Like you were writing, you were doing all these different things. Your career was different. And then, how did your children impact this new journey that you're on? Like,
well, because I've been able to stay at home with them, I've been able to really focus on raising them. And also, like, even though my parents were great parents and they did the best that they could, I know that there were some things that I didn't want to repeat with my kids. So, if my mom, she had depression, and when she would get depressed, she was in the room the whole time, and sleeping. And sometimes I need my space, but I also know I have to get up every morning. I have to be there for them. So I think it's changed in the way, especially that I had kids later. I was 34 when I had my first child. I spent a lot of time doing stuff just for myself. Yeah. And so now I'm doing stuff for other people. So that has impacted it in a way. And I just really try to let my kids be who they are, and, I see what their interests are and what they like. So I try to help them with it, even if I don't want to. Like, even if
yes.
I don't, and that's something that I try to explain to them.
Even if you don't want to, let me tell you, there are days when I'm like, oh, I just want to be in my bed and just chill. And my child is like, I need breakfast. I'm like, who needs breakfast? Mama needs sleep.
So I see a question here. Jessica asked a question. She said, my daughter is almost 2. What advice do you have for a first-time mom who is trying to raise a bilingual speaking baby? My husband doesn't speak Spanish, so it's just me, because right now I'm just winging it. Okay, so Jessica, that's awesome that you want to raise your child to speak Spanish. And my advice is to just continue with it. Even if your husband doesn't speak Spanish, I know many families that I have one family member speak, one parent speak English or another language, and the mom or the dad speaking Spanish. So just keep up with it. Like, don't get disheartened at times. It's difficult. It's not easy. It's not easy. And sometimes as they get older, I think when they're younger, it's easier to keep up with the Spanish. And as they get older, you have to have more intense conversations. And especially if you live in the US and you're only surrounded by English most of the time, my vocabulary is slipping, because I'm not in that environment all the time. So it's just like creating it. So reading books, trying to listen to music in Spanish, whatever. If you let them, well, she's 2, so maybe she's too young for that. But I've tried to expose my kids to, like, when we went to go see Coco, we saw Coco in Spanish. They don't even know it exists in English. Like, it was, so it's just like trying to do it. You're kind of, it's kind of difficult sometimes, but try to keep up with it and try to meet other families that are doing the same thing.
Yeah. So I think,
and that way you could support each other.
Be intentional, being intentional. I think it's really important. I love that. And Jessica, I actually know Jessica. I know she's doing a great job. And she has a cute little baby that I love. So I'm just saying, girl, you're doing it good. Jessica is Mexican-American, right? You were born in the U.S. And she's from Chicago, and she lives out here in California, and she's military. And so they're going to live in a lot of different places where she's going to play that role of bringing culture with her, So, so that's a great question. Let's see. Monique Carrera. So this is actually someone that I love and know and love too. All these wonderful people. So She said, sounds like these are great books and not much out there, as you already said. A suggestion is to have these books in Braille and audio so that they can reach those who access books differently. So Monique is experienced. She has a son who, I hate saying special needs because he is like the brightest star, like just so smart and so amazing. But he does have limited vision and goes to a school for, well, not anymore, but is he going to a school for the visually impaired? You can correct me. But she actually works at a school for the blind. So I know that her question comes from her heart and also from her experience trying to get these books and access. So if you have a resource for that, Maceo, that would be great. I don't know enough to answer that question intelligently. So I'd like to say that I love that idea. I mean, I just love it. I feel like it's so necessary because we want to be accessible. We want to make it. I mean, that's the whole point of creating these boxes, right? Is making it accessible.
Yeah, there is a publisher in Latin America. I can't remember what country, but they do have some books in Braille. And I haven't been able to access them here. So that is something that I have seen, but I haven't had the resources to bring them over here. So the way that I do it is I go through a distributor, a book distributor here. And but I could look into, thanks Monique for bringing that up, because I could look into who the publishers are and then ask the distributor to get their buyers to bring them, because I feel that it is very important to have books that are accessible to everyone. Audiobooks are also very difficult to get, and I could see if there's another publisher that does that doesn't sell in the US, but it could happen. Anything could happen, like my son says. Anything's possible.
She said, I will send a resource to Sandra to share with you. Okay, so she has
that would be great. Thank you.
At the School for the Blind, and she's also very involved in making sure that her son has a life just like all of us, that he can experience all the things just like us. And I feel like I want to say a million things about her because I know her journey, but that's for another show when I bring her on, because she's going to have to be on my show at some point. So she's probably like dying right now that I said that on air. But the truth is that, you don't have to be an expert to help someone. You don't have to be an expert to create a book box. You don't have to be an expert. You just have to have a passion and be able to align that passion with the resources to put that out there for the universe, because people want it. Because here's the thing, the same books that Maceo sold to me in this book box, and I'm going to say sell because it's a business, and I don't want people to feel like you can't sell stuff. You can't sell me stuff. No, guess what? Life happens, and you are going to buy books from Amazon. You're going to buy books from Barnes and Nobles, which I don't know how they stay in business still because they're so expensive, but you're going to buy books from other people. But what you need to do is buy books from a place like this, Booklandia, where she literally will ask you to tell her what she needs. What do you need? What are you working on? What are, like she's going to curate a box for you. How much is a box? I don't even remember what a box is because
it depends on the price. All the shipping's included. The board books are $27.95. And the picture books are $34.95, and then the chapter books are $30.95. And in the picture books, I also have a bilingual teacher that makes a resource. And yes, I do take the time with each customer to see what they need, And this month we launched. We're doing our donation program where we're donating to the Women's Freedom Center, which is in San Francisco, and they have a Moms United program, and it's with, so we're working with moms that have been in the system, so either in foster care or in juvie or, in prison, who are mothers, and each month we're gonna donate a book for each box that we sell. And so these kids who their moms can't afford to buy a book box will still get the books that they need to expand their lives.
I love it. I love it. First of all, I just want to say that you're still a New Yorker because you said juvie.
It comes out once in a while.
Okay. Oh God, I just went back to the Bronx, like for real. Okay. So this is what I'm talking about. When you guys are looking at like, why should you support an independent owned business? You know, a business that is doing something, you know, that may seem like, oh, this might cost a little bit more, but in the end, you're getting so much more. You're getting someone who's going to hold your hand. And I don't think this costs much anyway. I mean, I feel like the prices are pretty reasonable. And she's talking about a box of books. She didn't talk about like a book. You're not paying, you know, that for a book. Paying for a box of books. And I think that's amazing. So, you know, what I'm hoping that you will see out of this, whether you're a business owner or whether you're somebody who's interested in these books, is that you can create something. And if you create an experience that is, you know, pleasant, and you create an experience that is memorable, people are going to want what you offer, and they're not going to worry about how much it costs. I didn't ask how much it costs. I just clicked the box and ordered my book box because I was like, I need this. And sometimes you may think that what you have is not so important because it's not, you know, it's not food. It's not, you know, like hierarchy, the Maslow's hierarchy, right? You know, it's not like food, shelter, you know, but it is important because you're still buying. I mean, people are consuming every single day. And so I feel sometimes people say, oh, I don't have money for this. I don't have money for that. And it drives me crazy because I feel like the United States, I mean, for sure, we are a mass consumption. Like, I mean, it's just crazy the amount of stuff we consume and buy. I will be honest, like I am the worst at this. I love Amazon. I don't know how many boxes come here from Amazon.
They make it very easy.
I know, because I'm like, oh, look, okay, so I wanted to put these albums. So originally my plan was to put these on the wall behind me, and then I needed frames. So I clicked, click, Amazon, they'll be here tomorrow. But it makes me, but you know, things like that, I'm like, okay. But if somebody's like, I will ship you these already mounted in a frame, and they're going to charge me a little bit extra, but they're creating an experience for me, I'm going to buy it. But the thing is, I don't know who those people are. So if you're not putting yourself out there, people don't know that what you do exists. Does that make sense? Like, a lot of times we want to say we sell something or we do something or whatever, and I'm going into a business rant here, but you may not have put yourself out there enough for people to know that you're providing a service that's different. So I think that's one of the things that I love about Maceo. Maceo didn't say, well, you know what, there's already all these other, there's Amazon.com, you know, you can buy books from there. You know, hey, just go on, I don't know, whatever. You didn't send them somewhere. You said, you know what, how can I create this for someone? And was it easy? Like, how many iterations, how many times have you had to change your process? Like, how many times have you figured out something didn't work? How many times have you printed a label and then, you know, like, you're like, okay, and gotta figure it out?
No, I've had to learn everything. Yeah. Everything from the very beginning. Like, I studied so much. I watched so many videos. I read so many blog posts, you know, not just about like, you know, like the subscription box model, you know, researching what books I would want, where I could get them, you know, running a business, social media, marketing, you know, everything I've had to learn, which has made it even more exciting for me, because I'm a learner. I love learning. So it really made things fresh, you know, like I feel like I keep on growing because I've been able to keep on learning. And yeah, you know, I've made plenty of mistakes. and, times that I remember I sent a box and someone stole books from the box and she just got the box. I know. I'm like, why don't they I'll send them books if they want. I'll send them for free. Just like, don't steal from my customers.
Yeah.
But then she was just like, oh, you didn't tape the box all the way. I'm like, I always tape the box all the way. But that day, I guess I didn't do it all. I don't know. I was in a rush. So, you live and learn. Okay.
Well,
I extra tape things now.
You didn't do it all because you were doing it all.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And yes.
All because you were doing it all. And I think, okay, so full disclaimer, full disclosure, we have about 5 minutes because I'm going to go over 5 because we started late, but I am a hot mess today. Okay. I woke up and I am doing it all. Okay. I did get my hair done yesterday, and the girl who does my hair was like, hey, I have somebody coming tomorrow. She can do your makeup. So I was like, great. I had to drop my daughter off. I wanted to drop her off early, but the school didn't have my new number. So when I called them to ask if I could drop her off early, they couldn't call me back to say yes or no. And then it just like the time, I was like, forget it. Don't worry about it. I'm pushing. I'm like, okay, I need behind the scenes. I need this. Usually my husband helps me, but my husband has a full-time job. Like, I need a team of people actually for what I'm doing. I need at least to say to my friends, hey, I'm doing this, and I need you to sit here and stand here with a camera and a bottle of water, and I will pay you in coffee. But no, seriously, I do need to get a team. I need to get an actual person to help me behind the scenes. And the thing is that if we don't open our mouths and say like, hey, I need help, right? Then we're not going to find that. And so I think that one I've learned is that we can't do all the things, because this is what happens when we do all the things, right? We forget to tape the box the whole way. So what is, so I'm going to show you my doing all the things. So this is my microphone. It is on a pillow because the stand, I could not get it to stay up. And I just gave up. I was like, I'm over it. So my microphone is on a pillow. It's supposed to be on a stand. And I felt, I've done it all myself. I'm doing it all myself, and I think that there's a blessing to that, to be able to do it all yourself. But sometimes we have to figure out like, okay, what do I need? I just need like this person, like a kid that can come after school and, maybe tape the boxes up. I mean, you have kids, so you need to employ your kids.
I do. They help me.
I know. I saw, oh my gosh. So yeah, so she sent this box, and then her kids have like signed, they've written and drawn inside the card, which was so cute. It's actually sitting on my counter. But yes, I was like, how cute is that? And one day they're going to grow up and they're going to be, adults, and, somewhere their little, handwriting, their little artwork is going to be, sitting in somebody's home. And that little card just lit me up because it showed that there were real people behind this brand, so I love you to pieces. I can't wait to continue getting books from you. I'm so glad that you were flexible and able to come on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
I don't know what this show is going to become, but what it is always going to be a powerhouse of women and even men, because I'm really branching out to bring different people on the show that want to share their story and their journey. So stay tuned. I was trying to do a week-to-week basis, but because we're entering into summer soon, we're probably going to be more pop-up until after summer and then start on a week-to-week. So I will be sharing with you guys our next guest and our next show. We have an amazing lineup of people coming up. So, Maceo has been so gracious and so amazing today. If you want to follow her, you can follow her over at booklandiabox.com. And on social media, are you at Booklandia? Everywhere?
Box. Yeah. At Booklandia Box. Yeah.
At Booklandia Box. So you can find her on Instagram, Facebook, all those amazing places. Twitter. I saw you on Twitter, even though I don't tweet or like I did, but I've got to I'm
can't do it all. You can't do it all. Yeah.
I got to rein it in. But guys, I love you for tuning in. If you have questions, comments, suggestions, if you loved it, let us know in the comments. I want to know that, what did you get out of this show? And, definitely give Maceo some love. You can throw some hearts. You can just let us know how
Thank
much
you.
you love it. And thank you guys so much. And Danielle says, will you please post the links in the comment? Yes, we will post the links in the comment. I will do that momentarily after I drink something because I'm like, and
I could do it. And I could give all your fans $5 off. Just use the code 5OFF.
Yes, use the code 5OFF and buy some
Oh,
books.
the number 5. I'll put it in the comments now.
Yeah, she's gonna put it in the comments because I will mess you up. And then here, if you put it in the comments, I can put it on the screen for future people. What is it?
I'm putting the website and use 5 off.
The number 5 or the word 5?
Use 5 off. Yeah. The number 5.
All right, so I posted that. Is that right? Oh no, that's not. That's Booklandia. Let's hide that. Booklandiabox.com.
Yep.
And code is 5OFF. All right, guys. So I am going to head out, and I just want to say thank you, Maceo. You are amazing.
Thank you.
I love everything you're doing. I will see you in June.
Yes.
And
yes, I'm actually going to LA in Mother's Day weekend if you're around.
Oh, Mother's Day weekend. I don't know what I'm doing. Is that what weekend is that?
The 12th and the 13th.
Very cool. All right, I'll message you about that. Guys, you have been amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, I'll see you guys on the flip side.
Adios.
Is this thing on? Welcome to the Groove, an amazing show about wins, failures, inspiration, and taking the road less traveled. You're going to see entrepreneurs, dreamers, doers, all kinds of people that are going to share their journey with you.
Amazing.
Gangster.
I'm going to come and say